Today, I would like to introduce Greg Hackney, our Sales and Marketing Director. And today we're talking about the reason companies come to us.
Thanks, Anthea. So I'm Greg Hackney. I'm the Sales and Marketing Director for Inixion. So I look after everything to do with sales and marketing, but really what I do is look after our customer relationships. That's really my focus here at Inixion.
And I'd like to ask you the first question now. How does the journey with a new company that comes to us start?
That's a really good question. And of course, we get inquiries from all sorts of different sources, and sometimes it comes through the internet, and sometimes it's from personal recommendations or referrals, if you like. Occasionally, we work with companies and fill in their invitation to tender or request for information or proposal. But however that journey starts from a sort of a formal point of view, what we're trying to get to is the business requirements for why they're talking to us. Projects that are successful, ERP projects that are successful, are related to business requirements. It's not an IT requirement, and it really shouldn't be. So what we are looking for is what's the business need? What's going to help this business either grow or move forward or get to the goals it's looking for? And you could say that all of those are the same thing, and yes, they are variations on the theme, but that's what we're looking to do. So our journey generally starts by talking to the business and to understand those challenges. And generally speaking, and the one that we are talking about here today, they had issues with visibility of the stock or inventory, depending on which side of the Atlantic you are. So, and that inventory that they had problems with, the visibility of was both on the raw material side, but also on finished goods. And that's really the nub of it. That's what they really struggled with. Coupled to that, they had challenges with managing their order book and coordinating that with production. In other words, making sure that they had the finished goods ready for the orders that they'd taken. And then lastly, sort of a core problem that they had was giving visibility of their management team of the right financial figures quickly and consistently. We've all sat in a meeting with a report in front of us, and somebody says, "Well, my number doesn't add up to that." So everybody has a different variation on a theme. That's what they were trying to get away from, and that's the nub of it. Those are the business requirements, the challenges, the issues that they were looking for help with.
Thank you. So then how did you think that Inixion and Sage X3 could help to meet these business requirements?
Well, the answers to all of these challenges, and we discovered more as well. And along the journey to then becoming a customer, which is a bit like peeling an onion, to be honest, you learn more and more as you work with them and talk to them and get to know their team and their challenges. And by their team, I'm not just talking about the management. I'm talking about the people who are actually doing the job. And it's remarkable what we do learn as we go through that journey. But all of these challenges, the answers to them are covered with standard Sage X3 functionality. The caveat to that is that Sage X3 is a highly configurable solution, and it needs to be configured correctly according to the precise requirements of what they're looking for, and that we're gathering all the time. Every time we're talking to this business, we're gathering more information about those challenges, we're defining it, and ultimately we're going to document it as part of the scoping exercise. So Inixion has assisted lots of customers with similar and sometimes even more complex requirements. Every business is unique. Every scenario is unique. We've been doing this for nearly 20 years as a business, and so our team has bags of very relevant experience to bring to the table.
Thank you. And so we talked. You just mentioned relevant experience to the table. So what were the next steps for this company that we were talking about?
So pretty much every engagement that Inixion embarks on, we start off with a discovery. We like to get to know both the business and the pain points, if you like, more detail behind those challenges that the new system is being considered to address. I quite often say to the sales team that no financial director, VP of finance, CFO in the world gets up in the morning and says, today I need to buy a new system. That doesn't happen. It always starts with business challenges, or it should. And we want to discover more behind those. And that's the discovery phase. And we're not talking about weeks and weeks. We're talking about a succinct amount of time that we are going to spend with them so that we get to form the outline of what they're looking for, and we can start to plan the outline of how Sage X3 could be used and how it could be configured and what else we might need to know. It's one question will lead to another. Remember, I said it's like peeling an onion. There we go. That's it. It's the peeling of the onion. And what we're trying to get to do with this discovery phase is prepare a meaningful demonstration. And by that I mean, our view is that there's little point in demonstrating manufacturing bicycles. That happens to be what our demo systems data set is based on. I don't think that we have a bicycle manufacturer as one of our customers, and one day we'll meet one and it'll be brilliant. We won't have to do any work with it. It's set up, great. But until we do, we're going to need to do some planning and prep to make sure that that demonstration is meaningful and provides clear insight into how Sage X3 delivered by Inixion could address those business challenges. Remember, I said it's the business issues that we're looking to address. It's not an IT discussion. It shouldn't be. And that discovery, and then coupled with that demonstration that we're going to do afterwards, it's the very first steps along part of the journey that, if we're selected to work with them for their project, will continue into a formal scoping process where we're going to go into much, much more detail about every single process within their business. And we're going to document it and document how Sage X3 is going to be configured to meet that business requirement and that process.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Greg. That's a really interesting insight as to how we work with companies that come to us to help them with their business requirements.
It's my pleasure.